Yo, what's up guys? Today all of the Inferno. So first going to be looking at what do all of these Infernos do. I did already kind of rerun and then we're going to go into the matches. There's one Inferno that I want to test in particular with a unit I don't have, which I think is going to be a super strong combo, but we're going to do that after the World Guild battles itself. So first one we have is Purion, which will have a attack bar increase on a crit, which all of them have on the skill 1, which is a pretty nasty attack bar increase. 30% is a lot. And then this one also has a bonus of a 50 crit rate, which is a lot. Then on this skill, we also have a stun. Plus, we also have crit rate extra and crit damage extra, which is pretty nice for itself. I could even lower the crit rate by this by a fair bit, but I guess we still start off with a skill 3, and skill 3 will actually give you attack bar and also crit rate. It would be nice if this skill gave anything but crit rate, because with this and this combined, you only need 20 crit rate to be on max crit rate, which is pretty much nothing. That's absolutely insane. So if this was giving an attack buff or a even defense buff or anything, would have been better. Then again, next one up, we have this one, the fire one, which also attack bar increase on the S1. We have continuous damage plus a defense decrease on S2. Definitely a TOA unit right there. It will increase in harmful effects if you up the cooldown or up the Devilmons and that kind of stuff. And then we have a stun and a continuous damage for this. So it's kind of like a Rika replacement and therefore also used in that team. Then this is the one that a lot of people are looking out for. I think he is a little bit overhyped, and the reason for that is he has to die, but he is super tanky, otherwise he doesn't deal damage. So how is he gonna die? So I've seen some people use 3 of them in arena offense. It works really good against defenses where there's an Amber on defense, but those are pretty rare as well. So sure, there's a few very niche things that you can super hard hit with this, but the moment people figure out like, hey, I get hit by Drogans, you're pretty much just not going to put those defense anymore, and this thing, having 3 of them will not be that interesting. But curious to see how that will work against this, because these kind of teams or Maximilian teams is the thing that he's normally countering. And then we have some tanky units on left and right, hopefully tanky-ish. Maybe I should even put them on Vampire, but we'll just see how that goes. I kind of fear for this thing just not dying at all. Then we have a Bruiser comp over here for this one, which does have an anti-revive mechanic. I did not really find an anti-revive plus other things that I want to hit, so I will try to find an anti-revive thing or a reviver in the next round, maybe like a Tyrannies or something like that. But yeah, skill 1, same thing, attack bar increase. This one is going to be the strip into attack decrease, and then this one is going to be an always crit, which is a little bit awkward because always crit is nice, but you still want to crit on this and you still kind of want to crit on this. So sure, I could maybe let's actually put you to a crit damage 4. Like, you still kind of want to crit, but you also, yeah, it's kind of in the midst, right? It's like you have a guaranteed crit, but then again, we'll see. And then this one is, this one definitely would be a must on skill ups if you do want to use it properly, because this skill has a pretty high multiplier. And every time that you strip, everything that you do strip, you reduce the cooldown on this. So in this case, you would have to strip a lot of things, but if you reduce those 2, it will be a lot less. But let's first give him a try, and then on skill 2, we also have the one that stuns, right? Yep, it's the stun. And we do also get extra crit bonus for the... or extra damage bonus if there is no beneficial effects, which is pretty decent. And then we also have the extra crit on this, so this skill also doesn't really need the crit, but this skill does need the crit, so it's a little bit inconsistent in there. So for the team ideas, what do we have over here? Magnum is one of the strongest counter against these boss from the Chilling and the Panther, so we're gonna mess that up. Rogue is kind of just there to team up and also draw the attention from you. In this case, very typical team with a Heigang and an Amber and a dot kind of shenanigans. We do also have heal block against the healings of that thing, which is pretty nice. Over here, we have a tanking team. I might have to put this on Vampire, otherwise it doesn't really work, but I'm not too sure yet. I kind of feel like that this whole team would already die before you die. That's just one of those things. Bruiser team over here with a Kumar and a Annabelle, and then over here also a Bruiser team with a Lima and a Nikki. Let's get going, and let's see if these units are better than the Hellhounds of yesterday. If you want to see the Hellhound video of yesterday, we'll link it in the description as well. And let's see how these units work. So you go for a boost, And because you go for a boost, Magnum just pews you to death. It's one of those things. Is this really a Purion showcase? Maybe not really, but this was just one of those teams that I simply had to use this. Like, this is too good not to use. In this case, let's give ourselves some bar. We do nearly lose you. We do actually lose you. Yeah, is this one of those things that, was it a Purion showcase? Well, it does give a lot of bar with the adrenaline. I do have a different team in mind for you later, where I think you are super good, but it's having one unit that I'm actually missing. And because it's missing that one unit, I will use that just on later. Okay, so we do fully outspeed in this case. We do have a few dots coming in over there. You actually do cut in. That is a little bit bad, especially for that heal block right there. Not too happy about that. Okay, you will always hit that, or one of those two. That is fine. I think you kind of died to those dots right now. I have to start working on you, otherwise I definitely will have issues. I think I have issues regardless. So it is a dot unit out there, but is it one of the better dot units out there? Not necessarily. Like, sure, free-to-play wise, TOA wise, yes. But otherwise, I think that a Trix would have simply done a lot more. Maybe in the version of a Tomoe comp, so you can spread something. Might be a little bit more value in this case. Once again, Amber showcase rather than anything over here. Because Amber's just crazy strong. And it's a daughter with very low HP, which is not that great. So, okay, this is actually perfect. We only get Death Break on this one unit. That is good. I'm just going to kind of slow whittle it down because I kind of want to die. That's the main thing. I do want you to die. But yeah, that's already where you see other units probably die a lot faster. Let's just get some hits in on you. That is totally fine. Yeah, you will hit on this right now. Should be. Okay, last curse. Good damage-ish, but I was somehow expecting a little bit more. It is not max leveled yet, and this is definitely a unit you will notice the value of being max leveled versus not max leveled, but it did not really full kill. That is kind of an issue, and this thing is also not super high on damage. Can we... I think he's just life draining too much for me right now. That is actually a super tanky Kaki. Yeah, I'm not too big a fan of this unit, to be honest. Like, a lot of people are super hyping him. But personally, not that big a fan, because does it actually do enough? That is the big question. And in this case, me outspeeding everything is not that crazy. This one will reset the attack bar and critical hit, but I guess that you will get bar after that. So I think I'm just going to put the attack break on you in this case. But, okay, good thing you did not use Switch of Destiny on me. That's kind of a wasted hit right there, not gonna lie. Man, these units are so derpy on defense. That's definitely a true statement. I think I'll just send this just for the silences. Do get that over there. That's good. Was hoping to have a little bit more of a silence landing right there. Let's see how much damage this will do. 21k, not the worst, not the worst. That's the one with the guaranteed crit that was there. Okay, that actually did do a little bit more damage than expected. But now we can sleep. And we can sleep. And we can make it an NFL showcase rather than anything. How much damage for an S1? Okay, that's where you miss crit. So that's the thing I don't like about some of these kits, where one skill is a crit, other skill not a crit, and then at some point it's just like... And then at some point it just gets kind of weird of like, when do you actually use something or not? So we can strip this, that's nice. We are a little bit low on the HP, but I think I have to just start looking at trying to kill things rather than anything. That death break, not nice, not nice. Okay, we do get a death break in ourselves. Let's go for this one right there. I'm also spreading damage out a little bit too much. Okay, let's just go for the healing. Okay, a very nice additional turn right there. Good damage as well. Wow, that's some damage. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this unit. Not too sure just yet. Good stunts, not too bad from Mr. Moore on the enemy side. Also, I'm not healing jack shit on this Annabelle at the moment. But Annabelle is doing the Annabelle showcase. Nice. It works out, it works out. Okay, so this one over here. I kind of want to use your S3s later on, but what I can already do is this. And then heal blocks. And then start working on doing some damage with just an S2 in this case. I like that S2, not gonna lie. I kind of like that S2. So in this case, what we're gonna do is we're not gonna reach that at all. I'm just kind of gonna waste some of your stacks. Waste some of your stacks. And then we go for the S3. No damage on that whatsoever. You do also hit my 1 unit. But the cooldown will be lowered for you right now as well. So I did steal, or I did strip 2 things. So I shouldn't have full cooldown right now. But if I max skilled it, I would have actually had full cooldown. Which is kind of cool as a unit itself. Also, the animations of these things are super fast. I kind of just want to wait because this is now a safe space. We're in a safe space. You can say whatever you want. No, not that kind of safe space. But we're in a safe space where none of these units will potentially really kill me. So we can actually start working on getting more cooldowns in like that. And every time that you hit a 2 target, so a unit with 2 buffs, you would... No, wait, you need 3. 3 is what you need for getting your skills back fully, which not that bad. It's something that you can quite spam from that moment on, pretty much. But yeah, if you don't have it max skilled, it's a little bit worse. But I kind of did like your S2 as well, yeah. Also, the animations of these things are crazy fast. That's something I've noticed as well. Like these S1s, they fly within like 0.1 second kind of style. It's interesting. Not sure if that's any good for like a PvE dungeon, but... would have to check if there's some values out there. Some of them have decent multipliers, but not the greatest. So we had 1 lose so far, but let's see if we can find a better team where it works a little bit better against. That Kaki was super tanky. The Kaki had like 40k HP and therefore did not really work out. But let's see if we find another team to make it work against. Okay, so these are going to be the new teams. Kind of similar-ish style for a lot of them, but just trying a little bit different here and there. Let's actually put you to a vamp set. You cannot vamp on a skill 2 as much, but you can still vamp on the other skills. So that's just kind of the pray and the hope that that would do anything. And let's just see how it goes from there. Team over here, these 2 teams are both going to be a little bit weird. Mainly thing is on this one, we're going to get some attack bar gain boost thingy in. Then we're going to boost up both of these units. And I hope that either one of those 2 procs so we can actually have a good match. Otherwise, we probably have a bad match. Another dot team over there. And this one is also once again kind of a Bruiser fight. So let's see if these work out this time around. We're on 4 wins, so they're doing better than the Hellhounds thus far. But it might go bad on this one right now. So let's see. Okay, we do have all of our skills in. This is just an attack bar increase, so it's not really going to add too much. I definitely want to keep you alive. And that is nice to actually do both in this case. Getting the silence in. Okay, not getting as much silence in. We should be getting in some summoning of the clouds. Consistent stuns is what we like. Few hits on that, not the worst. It is good damage though. Can we take it out? I think we can take that out. That is very nice. Can we stun this? Yes. Okay, you still have some more hits on that. That's fine. In this case, let's just do a little bit over there. A little bit of attack gain. A little bit of everything. A little bit of cycling. Damage on that S3 is not too bad at all. Like, I can definitely see these units having potential where they can do a good bit of work. And the skill 3 has a guaranteed crit, which is kind of nice in the first place. It kind of makes the S1 and S2 a little bit awkward, but... okay, let's see how much we can do on this. Okay, perfect actually for this one dying as first once again. It's really good. I think probably you have a lot of HP. Oh, you're still going for that. Interesting. Oh, wait. If you brand, you cannot deal any damage. That's actually a thing I forgot. So it still seems that we're dying on that one, but that is kind of fine. You die first, you come back, you nearly kill something. Yeah, that's just also, once again, the thing of this thing is like, you try to get this thing killed, but it's not really the one getting killed. That's why I think that this thing, it is nice, it is niche, but is it really good? By all means, I'm not sure. At least it does have a death break, which is really nice. So therefore, other things can start hitting it pretty hard as well. Okay, guess the damage comes in over here, and then a Chroma can kind of solo. So maybe not a Chroma, but more like on a... Camilla kind of style that would work, but yeah, okay. So these things are actually super slow, which means you have a lot of HP as well. So the main idea I had was doing this, give bar to everyone, go for this skill over here, and we don't land it on the one unit I want to land it. However, we do get this, and I can go for this right now. That is also a good one, because that gives me the protection that I need for just the first round. Your skill 3 will not do that much, but a skill 2 would... no, wait, skill 3 wouldn't do that much. Skill 2 would have been an issue. So let's start on working you down. And we give this as a boost. And then more boost, more damage, more everything. Okay, that's where we go for that skill. That's fine, that's fine. He's pretty close on... Yep, okay, fine. We take it out. We do have protection right now, which is perfect. Okay, we lose the protection on one unit, but that is the one unit that doesn't really matter. I'm liking the Purion S3, or like the S2 as well. Like this thing, it's pretty nice for that freeze every time and that kind of stuff. Plus this is also more of an all-round build, but you're also getting so many turns, man. That's definitely a thing. Like this team is getting a shit ton of turns. S1, okay, S1 is not really taking anything out if you don't crit with it. That is a thing. But over here, more crits, more turns, more of the Ice Piercer. Not too bad, not too bad, liking it. Okay, so we have this team over here. Wait, this thing is that big that I barely see the freaking... I've never noticed that on any unit, right? Where the unit is just like by height so much bigger that I barely see the fucking enemy. That is an interesting side right there. Why is that fastest unit? Well, I'm happy you didn't do your proper skills though, but since when is that a thing? Okay, we go for this. I could go for stun right now. Stun on this seems pretty interesting, but stripping that also does seem... not if we miss it. Okay, you do have skills available. Doesn't really use skills. I like the looks of that. But also since we did not strip right now, we're on super long cooldown. So, damn, that has 2 damage though. But yeah, the long cooldown, if you miss a strip on this unit, is kind of bad. It would be nice if it gets like a segment kind of mechanic. I legit cannot see this unit. I cannot see the lore. What is this shit? That is so weird. But I'm liking these Piercer skills from all of these units that do have the Piercer. Like that skill is really good. That's definitely one of my favorite skills from all of those. Like, oop, stunned. Simple as that. I'm liking these units for Bruiser setups. They're not necessarily any best in slots or anything that much. I feel like they're more niche than anything for a lot of them. But I can see the value on a lot of them as well. Okay, that's gonna be kind of bad, especially since... Okay. Uh-oh. We just had to say goodbye once again, and it's gonna be an Amber Showcase once again. That's just how things work. Would you mind not going 4 times? Thank you very much. Can we additional turn? Nope. Okay, I think we might die to this thing over here because that thing is just simply too freaking fast. I have to push this one back, otherwise it starts doing annoying shit. Start hitting the other one. Can we additional turn? We're dead. We're very dead. Yeah, so... actually, where I expected most out of this unit here in the middle, that's the one that's weakest by far, because if you put a Trix here in the middle, Trix would have absolutely annihilated. It did not really help that we did not stun you in the first place and you're a proccing piece of sock that I still don't know why people call this unit bad right now after nerf. This unit is so fucking crazy strong. But yeah, the one that I expected most of actually was most disappointing, but the others were actually pretty good. But there was this one team that I wanted to try out that I don't have one unit for, but I will go into that for a second. Which is going to be a Sylvia. So we're going to be pairing up Sylvia, Purion, and with just for funs, anything else that's cool on single target hits for team-ups. Cadiz. Set out that I'll keep on you is still this violent set. On you, we're actually going to go for like a crazy fast Swift or something. And on the other side, we also just go some add damages with whatever. And just kind of want to see like how good this is, or if it's even any good in the first place. So full of will in this case. We are fighting a pretty strong team as well. We have to make sure that you're not gonna get any turns, pretty much. So let's give you pushback like that. Let's give you stuns over there. We can push up the whole team with adrenaline. Nearly gives us a turn already right away. We can start hitting this. That thing did not proc out. That's perfect. Let's just kind of whittle you down. We are glanced right now, which isn't too great. Oh, we did actually miss over there. That's not too great neither. This is, I think, the point where we have to start doing this. And is this is also multi-hit right now, right? Yeah, it is. So then we can give more bar once again. Uh-oh, this skill can be kind of annoying. Well, yeah, it's buff block on that. Let's just strip that out real quick. Let's take you out in the process. Let's give you another piercer. So, yeah, this is where you see a lot of Bruiser potential. But, of course, that's Sylvia. In the end, like anything with a Sylvia is good in Siege, right? But I can see him being used with Sylvia's because there's just so much bargain. On defense, you kind of have to figure out that you're not going to get sniped by like a random Sonya or whatnot, but I can see a lot of potential between the two of them because you get so much bargain simply by this unit having bargain in here and then also giving enough turn cycling on this skill right there. So there's a lot of rotation right there. Plus, you only need like 50 crit rate and you're totally fine, which you could even go lower than 50 crit rate. Well, I would go 50 crit rate for the team-ups in case you don't have your crit rate buff available, but that's pretty insane, I would say. So let me know in the comments which one is your favorite, and see you as always in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.